I really feel quite privileged to be sitting here in this wonderful pair of Chippendale period mahogany Gainsborough armchairs. There's a lovely story behind these, and there's the history of them as well. The story behind these is that they came from two completely separate homes, but yet were obviously made by the same man and possibly part of a larger set. They were made in about 1760 and they're mahogany and they're just brilliant quality. And we talk about them being Chippendale period. And what do we actually mean? We mean that they were made after the designs of Thomas Chippendale, but during his lifetime. So the designs of Thomas Chippendale were published as the Gentleman and Cabinet Maker's Director. And in there he depicts exactly this sort of chair, and he calls them French chairs. Why French chairs? Well, because the English model was based upon the French bergère chair, or bergère chair as it became known in English. And Thomas Chippendale published his designs starting in about 1754. Now these chairs date, as I said, from about 1760, and we have the design for these chairs on plate 19 of the Chippendale Director. And it's interesting because what he did was he showed chairs with his designs, but showing variations. So the legs on all the chairs are slightly different, so that the end client could do almost a pick and mix, if you like, and choose which design he wanted for the arm, which design he wanted for the legs and the backs and so on. So we're indebted to Thomas Chippendale for his designs because it gives us the clue. But it's also what he wrote in the introduction that's quite important for this, because he says, two designs of French chairs with elbows, and for the greater variety, the feet and elbows are different. The little moulding round the bottom of the edge of the rails has a good effect. The backs and seats are stuffed and covered with Spanish leather or damask, etc., and nailed with brass nails. Well, here you see a mid-18th century damask style, which we've had the chairs recovered in, and with brass nails all the way around the frames. So, as I said, the Gentleman and Cabinet Maker's Director by Thomas Chippendale, very important, very influential in helping us to date these. Thomas Chippendale produced an awful lot of furniture from his workshops in St Martin's Lane. He also was commissioned to furnish Dumfries House, and there is the biggest collection of identifiable pieces by the master himself in Dumfries House. And we're fortunate enough to have the catalogue for Dumfries House as well, in which, again, there are several pairs of what are called armchairs, each with arched rectangular padded back and seat, covered in the probably original close-nailed crimson silk velvet on square moulded legs joined by stretchers, which is exactly what we have here as well. Interestingly, in Dumfries House, also by Thomas Chippendale, circa 1770, there is a commode chair which has got identical scrolls to the scrolls that you have here on the outer and inner edges of the arms. So that's nice to see as well. Chippendale did actually make chairs with exactly that motif on there. So what do we have here? We have chairs with these wonderful outswept arms. The moulding detail here on the terminal to the arms, deeply swept supports there. These square legs, and you'll notice that the inner edge is what we call chamfered. It's chamfered off so that it's not entirely square. It's actually five-sided, which stops it from looking like a big block of wood. It makes it so much lighter to look at. And the legs all joined by this H-shaped stretcher underneath, which holds the legs really strongly together. It holds the whole frame together. The arched back, stuff over with brass nailing all the way round, the damask exactly as by Thomas Chippendale. Now, interestingly, we came across another pair of very, very similar chairs that came up back in 1998 at the Hackwood Park sale, where they were actually made by Gillows of Lancaster. And again, they date from, I think it's 1765 or 1759 to 1765, when Gillows made several pairs and sets of these stuffed back and seat chairs. And it's interesting to note that they too subscribed to Thomas Chippendale's director. So although Chippendale's designs were very much in vogue during that period, the George II and early George III period, he wasn't the only person producing pieces to his own designs. They were being copied by a lot of the top cabinet makers throughout the whole of Great Britain. Probably the most important thing about any set of chairs is the fact that they're comfortable. And I can assure you, these chairs are very comfortable. They're beautifully made, strongly made, made to last. That's what good 18th century furniture is all about. I hope you've enjoyed watching this short video. You'll be able to follow what we're doing, fresh pieces as they come in, and get invitations to antiques fairs by subscribing to our regular newsletter, and you'll find the link below. Thank you.